What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to go over something I thought was really cool that I learned about a little while ago, but it's just taking me around this one to get to it. Colossal has said they are going to bring back the Thylacine. Now, Thylacine is a really cool animal to me, and it's a really cool animal to a lot of people. A lot of people still think they're out there still alive, which would be an amazing find. And with that, I just kind of ask questions like, if we think they're still out there, should we still bring them back from extinction, essentially? And honestly, my answer to that is yes. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. If we can reintroduce them back into like Tasmania, it really will help the environment there. And honestly, we're the reason they went extinct. All of the effects and all the things were in place for us to save them, and we just didn't want to. They were seen as a nuisance, and they were just better off to be getting rid of, in a lot of people's opinions. So they didn't even try and save them. And in other articles that I've went over about the ones we had in America, they even knew. They said, take good care of them because you will not get any more. They are done at this point. And then, the last one just died because it got sick in the rain. That was Benjamin in the zoo. He's the most famous one that we have the videos and the pictures of. And so it's really a sad story. But if Colossal can bring them back, then it's almost like righting a wrong in a sense. Now, this opens up a whole other set of problems, in my opinion, on like, once they do this, what does that mean for extinction? Because extinction is no longer permanent, because we can bring them back as long as like we have the ability and the right amount of genetics. So I'm kind of curious to see how they plan on doing it, and that's what this article is going to be today. We're going to jump into like how they're planning on doing it, I think. And yeah, so all that being said, guys, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, drop those comments down below, turn on the notification bells, and follow me on all my social medias, which are going to be at the end of this video. And let's get into the article. Okay, guys, like I always like to say, I don't own the rights to these articles. This particular one is coming from popularmechanics.com. Please go over there and show them some love. And this scientists are hell-bent on resurrecting the Tasmanian tiger. Here's their complicated plan. Tasmanian tiger, or Thylacine, roamed portions of southern Australia until settlers killed off the dog-sized marsupial carnivore. By 1936, the last of the creatures with distinctive tiger-like stripes on their backs died in captivity. But a Dallas, Texas-based company called Colossal Biosciences plans to bring the Thylacine back to Australia through de-extinction, the aspirational process of birthing a new version of a lost species. On the heels of a September 2021 announcement outlining plans to rebirth the woolly mammoth, and the woolly mammoth one is a whole other video that I plan on getting into soon, and that will actually probably be in like 2 weeks, I think, is when that one's going to come out. Colossal Biosciences has partnered with an Australian scientist to work on the de-extinction of the Tasmanian tiger. Combining the science of genetics with the businesses of discovery, we endeavor to jumpstart nature's ancestral heartbeat, the company says on its website. Colossal outlines a 10-step process for resurrecting the Thylacine from extinction to birth. That includes sequencing the creature's genome through DNA extracted from a 108-year-old specimen preserved at the Victorian Museum in Australia. Andrew Pask, a professor of biosciences at the University of Melbourne and a member of the Colossal Scientific Advisory Board, will lead the charge on sequencing as the foremost expert in the Thylacine genome. He heads the university's Tigger, T-I-G-G-R, Thylacine Integrated Genetic Restoration Research. In 2018, Pask's team published the first genome sequence of the Thylacine. While the draft assembly of the Thylacine genome contained the overwhelming majority of its genetic information, we were unable to piece everything back together. According to the TIGGR lab website, nailing the genome sequence will be the first monumental step in the process towards de-extinction. If that pans out, bioengineering comes next. That includes everything from sequencing the Thylacine's closest living relatives to computational biology to enhance a recipient host genome to be more Thylacine-like, and establishing compatible cell lines for cell editing, sequencing, and stem cell derivation. Ultimately, this will lead to inserting Thylacine genetics into the genome of a dasyurid and stimulating embryonic growth until it is ready for a surrogate and eventual birth. The current plan calls for taken stem cells from the living dasyurid or Dunart, a marsupial relative that bears basically no resemblance to the Thylacine. This little guy right here is a Dunart. That's what it looks like. The little tiny thing is the relative of Thylacine. Mouse-like Dunart versus wolf-like Tasmanian tiger. And then editing genes to get as close to a new Thylacine as possible. Colossal expects this process to take at least a decade, and Pask claims the first version will offer up a de-extincted thylacine-ish thing, about 90% thylacine, with the eventual goal to get to 99.9%. He tells Scientific America in a Jurassic Park-like proposal, the engineered animals will live in their own enclosure with the continual goal of dropping the Tasmanian tiger back into the wild. The thylacine started a steady decline when settlers started killing them off due to an incentive of a one-something bounty at the time, along with the help of dingoes. The thylacine was winnowed down to freedom only on the island of Tasmania, and a captive thylacine ended the species run after dying at the Hobart Zoo in 1936. Not everyone believes this grand de-extinction plan is a sound judgment call. Since 1999, researchers have tried to sequence the genome of Tasmanian tiger. It hasn't worked, and even if it does pan out in the future, there are ethical questions about how to handle the creature and if funding could have been better spent on conservation and protecting currently endangered species. Yeah, so that actually does kind of pose the question that I said earlier. It's like, should we do this? Who knows? Because, like, here's the thing. If they were using this technology to make more elephants, right? Elephants are still alive. They're currently endangered species. But if we're using this technology to make more elephants, then probably nobody would have a problem with it. But the fact that that's not fun, because we already have elephants. So that's not going to make the news. It's not going to get the biggest thing. But we killed the Tasmanian tigers. There's none of those left. And everybody wants there to be some. So they're a very famous extinct animal. So the dilemma is, it's like, should we do this versus can we do this? I think the answer now is that we can. But now the question is, like, should we? Well, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. With Colossal already moving forward on the woolly mammoth effort, the genome of that animal is sequenced, and scientists will soon place it into the genome of the Asian elephant. The thylacine needs the final 4% of its genome sequence before scientists can explore the possibility of using a done art genome for the next steps. Marsupials mark a relatively new world of research. So much of the plan has never before been done, and experts don't believe the thylacine and Dunnar are close enough to make it work. Jeremy Austin from the Australian Centre for Ancient DNA tells the Sydney Morning Herald, the entire plan is about media attention for the scientists. De-extinction is a fairy tale science, he says. Only a newer Tasmanian tiger, or something resembling it, could change that. And yeah, it really is kind of what it comes down to. There's a lot of people who don't think we should bring them back because they're dead. They're gone. Their time is past. And we're kind of, it's like basically it's Jurassic Park. That's what these people are doing. They are playing God. And they even, Jurassic Park even used that same reference that I said. Like, John Hammond says it. It's like, if he were to have like cloned a flock of endangered condors on the island, no one would care. But the fact is, he brought back dinosaurs. And then the dinosaurs, you know, wreak havoc. Multiple movies. Let me know what you guys think about that in the bits down below. But, you know, the idea of the question is like, if we put them back in the environment, they won't not help it. Australia has huge problems since thylacines are gone because they don't have like the predators on there that they used to. So now like facial tumor disease runs wild in Tasmania and Australia, and like they'll help keep down like other nuisance animals that have been introduced. It's possible they can. Now a lot of them will probably die to cane toads because that's a whole other story. The fact it really does kind of come down to these things is like, should we do it versus can we do it? And I think the answer is they can. So now let's see if they should. And I don't know though, me personally, I'm super excited to possibly be able to actually see a living, breathing Tasmanian tiger in my lifetime. And I think it'd be a good idea to at least do it and see how it goes with them, because you never know. There's probably going to be some downsides, but there are possibly going to be some upsides too. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what the future holds for the Tasmanian tiger. Personally, I just hope they go out and they find some. I think, you know, there's some people out there that think they're might still be there, and if we can get some better video footage of them, or if we can prove that they are still there, maybe this will just fall off completely and we'll dedicate time to helping those creatures bring back the population. And I think that would be a way better way to go than just bringing them back to life. But you know what? All that being said though, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Follow me on my social medias, and I'll see you guys in the next video.